Okay, so I want to preface this kind of by saying that before 21, I had managed to get myself a position in one of the best universities in the UK, studying biomedical engineering. I have since had 3 jobs. Obviously, one of them was when I was 16, 17, working kind of as an offshoot, as a contractor for KPMG, working on the back ends of some banks. And the second one being ARM, which I believe makes 1/3 of all chips in the world. They're, the Apple chips are based off of the ARM architecture, both in the phones and the Macs. And now training ChatGPT, essentially, how to code. So that's sort of where I'm at. If you were to look at it from a career point of view and from an education point of view, you would say I've absolutely smashed it. You know what I mean? But it's really strange because it's not where I want to be. It's not what I want to be doing. I'm not content with this position. Now, I always used to say that you need a base style, and I still do believe this, and I still follow this, but I need to implement it more now. But let me tell you this story. So you need a base style. Now, what I believed my base style was, and I have nothing against the people who do this, I have the utmost respect for people who do these jobs, but for me, my base style was such that I refused to stack shelves, and I refused to work in McDonald's. I just didn't want to do it. And so I did everything that I could to position myself such that I didn't have to do it. And that allowed me to get my first software engineering job when I was 17 years old, which was almost fully remote. Yes, it was on £10 an hour, so it was on the same wage that I would have been earning there. But I was upskilling myself. I was increasing my value to the marketplace with regards to software, learning the ropes. And then obviously I got into King's. And then after that, I leveraged both of those positions during my gap year to get into ARM. And obviously I needed money whilst I was at university when I came back. And so that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, it's strange because none of those things are what I want to be doing. Working the corporate world, working the corporate 9 till 5, which is what ARM allowed for me, really opened my eyes. Because there's a lot of people out there that say that I don't want to work a 9 till 5, I can't do it. But you know, when you work a proper corporate 9 till 5, it is so chill. It's so easy. It's such a relaxed life. You go in, you do your work, and then you can chill out. And especially if it's in software, you don't have to wear a suit. You don't really have to go in on time. You can do most of your tasks from home if you want to do it. It's fairly chill. I used to go into the office almost every day because the food was subsidized there. So I would get half a chicken, loads of chips, loads of salad for £5. And they had the most amazing pizza there ever. Like it was just the best pizza that I've ever had. Was there stone baked, all of that stuff. And again, I think that was like £5-6. But it was wicked. Honestly, it was wicked. I remember I had a conversation with someone who worked there, with a few graduate employees as well. And one of them asked him how long he's been working at the company. And he said about 25 years. And a lot of us were just sat there thinking like, that's longer than we've all been alive. This is insane. So at the time I was 19. So it's like, and I was surprised as well. But after a minute, I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I just get it. Like, I totally get it. It's strange. It's really, really strange what they tell you on the media versus how life really is. Because when I was there, I was on roughly, I think just over like 30k. And then I had my tutoring thing on the side. and I had a few like stock positions that I was coming in and out of. So I was making a decent amount. It allowed me to move out of my childhood home. I was fully self-sufficient. All of my food I was buying out. But that's a whole nother thing. I basically calculated that it was actually cheaper for me to buy food out, certain foods, than it was for me to cook with regards to the time. But yeah, like, I was fully self-sufficient. I was chilling, you know what I mean? And I had loads of spare money. I was putting money into the S&P 500, and I still had money to buy things here and there. If I wanted to go somewhere, do something, I could do it. And it's strange because everyone says they can't do the 9 to 5 and all of that. Now, when you're working at a company for 25 years, so you remember that was only my first year, yeah. I would have been increasing my salary. I would have doubled, tripled, quadrupled my salary maybe there. And so it's a really chill life. Like, it's a super chill life. I can see why you would want to do that. But there was a moment that I reached where I was thinking, at the time, I really wanted a Lamborghini. And at that time, I wanted just the cheapest Lambo that I could get. So it was a Lamborghini Gallardo. Now, that costs around 65 grand currently. So I was doing the maths, I was doing everything to see how long it would take for me to afford it. And I calculated at the end of 3.5 years, 4 years, I'd be able to afford the Gallardo. And I thought, okay, smashed it. Just carry on. Got a 3-year contract signed anyway, so just carry on. And so, yeah. But one day when I was walking to work, I was thinking to myself, where am I going to drive with it? What am I going to do with it? Because for 5 days a week, the only place that I can really drive it is to work. So I'm driving my nice Lamborghini Gallardo to work, parking up in the work car park, and going and giving all of my energy and my waking hours building someone else's dream. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks, because suddenly I saw that Lamborghini as a consolation prize. It's a consolation prize for doing what I really didn't want to be doing, ultimately. And when I came to that realization, I thought, okay, let's try and do something. Now, where I'm at with this base style is that, for me, my base style was such that I didn't want to stack shelves. I didn't want to work in McDonald's. But now, my base style that I want to have is such that I don't have to do these things. It's such that I can have this social media thing, help the younger generation to build themselves together with me whilst I'm doing it by any means necessary, and see where we go from there. It's just an endless pursuit of self-improvement is where I want to be. Just, if it's an improvement by 0.001% every day, it's still momentum and it's still on the right track. So that's where I kind of want to do, where I want to be with this whole social media thing and with this whole journey that I'm on. It's just understanding where my base styles are, using them, applying them, and becoming one with your dreams. So I think there was a Mike Thirst quote where he said, "You don't rise to what you portray yourself to other people. You fall to the standards that you're at when you're alone." And it's just so true. Like, what you do when no one's around and no one sees what you're doing, that's who you are. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I used to think a lot when I was in Cambridge is, am I actually okay with being alone with this person? That person being me. And because obviously I was in that position in life where I was 19, I'd moved halfway up the country on my own working in a corporate job where everyone else is in their 30s, 40s. They all have kids literally my age, and I'm there working as a software engineer with them. So it was really strange. I felt terribly lonely, like insanely lonely, because there was no one that I could really speak to. There was no friends that I could make there. And so I was in that position where I was alone with myself a lot, and I wasn't happy with the person that I was alone with, which is why I wanted to improve and wanted to make it such that I was actually okay with being around this person for a prolonged period of time, you know? So what are the things that I'm working on now? So one is Gamifying Life, which is an app which is going to track every single aspect of life. It's a quantifier for every single aspect of life, essentially. So it's going to have your stock portfolio, your crypto portfolio. So it's going to have your money shown like in a Clash of Clans UI, so you can see how you're doing with regards to your goals, as well as quantifying your interpersonal relationships. Because one of the problems that I felt was I had people around me which, after I hung out with them, I always felt like shit. I always felt terrible after I was with them. But I've been friends with them for years, like years and years and years, and I still hang out with them. And then it's just like, it takes that one day where you realize, what am I doing? And so I just kind of want to track that in an app. You can really see like, okay, I hang out with this person, this is how I feel after hanging out with this person. And when you see it as a graph, after like 3-4 months, you're like, okay, this person is not a positive impact on me, you know? As well as just, you know, saying the things that you've learned and you every day, tracking your fitness goals, tracking your macronutrients, everything is there. It's gamifying your life. It's leveling up your character. It's the ultimate game. It's the only game that you really should be playing. I used to play video games all the time. Like, I used to love GTA. I loved Modern Warfare. I got absolutely cracked at COD. I would always get like dark matter and diamond camo, gold camo for the headshots and stuff like that. I'd always do that kind of stuff. But then I kind of stopped because I just got busier and busier with school and work and that kind of thing. But this is the ultimate game. This game, the game you're playing, sitting there watching this video, and after you watch this video, you're going to go onto Instagram, or you're going to go onto Reddit, or you're going to go into X, or you're going to go into YouTube Shorts and just keep scrolling them for a while before you decide, oh yeah, maybe I should do something. And then before you do something, there's another video that kind of catches your eye, so you just watch that one. It's just like one last one. It's just tracking all of these things, you know what I mean? It's the most important thing that you can be doing. This is your life. It's in your hands. So that's what I want to do with that. The second is my tutoring company, essentially helping students get into the best universities in the UK. So for me, you know, getting into a top University of London uni. But when I was in Cambridge, I made friends there, who I hope will also be tutors too. And I do have some of them which I know will be tutors to these students. And it's going to be teaching these students how to get into those universities from people who have actually gotten into those universities. You know what I mean? There's a lot of tutors out there teaching you, you know, how to do this, how to do your application, all of that, but they haven't actually gotten into those unis, you know? So, for one, and two, they don't understand how the landscape is now. Now versus 15 years ago is completely different. The application process is completely different. What people are looking for is completely different. Like, no longer can you do just like a basic coding thing when there's ChatGPT, which can do that in 5 minutes, tops, with a couple prompts. You know what I mean? It's got to be a way more complex project if you want to get into CS. But people just don't understand that. Kids just don't understand that. So, yeah, that's that one. The third, I aim to grow a clothing company. I'm very much looking forward to doing that, just spending a lot of time with that, which should be really, really fun. It's like a gym clothing company. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. As well as that, I'm doing a bit of trading on the side to just kind of get my head around it, as well as just coding. You know what I mean? Coding is a very important skill to have. So understanding how machine learning, neural networks, all of these things work is, I mean, one, is truly fascinating, in all honesty. Like, you need to understand how AI works from its fundamentals. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And obviously with the Gamifying Life app, I need to be coding for that anyway. And I aim to implement some kind of large language model in there too, such that it's got a functionality where you can literally just type in a chat box all of the things that you need to type, and it will automatically segment everything. So it stops you having to like flick between all of these pages, like, oh, I need to fill in my macronutrients, or I need to do this, or I need... No, you just put it all in the box, blurt it out, and it will sort it out for you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm doing with that. But again, I'm just going to be fully transparent. I've been thinking about it a lot, like hiding all of these things, but I might as well just grow it in public, to be honest. Like, tell you exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm working on, bring you guys along on the journey, so you guys can see exactly where I'm at, when I made it, and when I truly transcended to like unparalleled planes of existence. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm very much looking forward to telling you guys a little bit more about myself, about my life story a little bit. Oh, another thing is I'm working on the book, Modernity's Forsaken Father, which is basically all of the lessons that I've learned along this journey. One of my friends said to me once that intelligence is learning from your own mistakes, but wisdom is learning from others. And it's just fascinating, you know? But it's one of those things that I do truly think that I wanted to implement from a very young age. I just wanted to learn from others' mistakes, so I didn't need to make them. And that kind of got me in the position where I'm at faster and faster and faster. If someone says don't do that, there's a reason that they're saying don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, for one, it's always been a strange thing that kids aren't allowed to drink, but adults are. Is that not just strange? Like, why can't a 14-year-old drink? Like, think about it, why? Oh, because it damages their health, like it hurts their development. You think that doesn't happen to an adult? It still damages their health, it still kills their brain cells, it still damages their development as a person. It's the same thing, you know what I mean? Alcohol should just not be allowed. Like, it's really, really strange. Like, I've always thought all of these things that we tell kids not to do, adults shouldn't be doing them either. And it's just normalized that adults do it. You know, so it's those kind of lessons that I want to portray in the book. But yeah, that's where I'm at. This is a long video, and again, society is such that it's at a point where anything above 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute videos with hyper editing and all of this stuff is just gonna be unwatched. But I have seen videos out there that are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes long that have absolutely smashed it for some reason. I don't know why. But this YouTube channel is basically where I'm going to be doing the long form content. I've got an Instagram account where I'm going to try and do like the hyper edits and all of that kind of stuff and like the shorter form content. But this is what I truly enjoy making, in all honesty, just sitting here talking. I've always said to people that like talking is my favorite thing. I could just talk for hours and hours and hours, but I'm cool with it, you know? And if I could somehow find a way to make that my job, oh my God, bro. Like, if I could make money from this, that would be insane. Like, that would actually be insane. If I could just sit there, talk about the lessons that I've learned, just try and help people, that would be truly, truly a dream. But the only way to make that dream happen is by doing this, by uploading these videos and getting 1 view, 5 views, you know? But yeah, before the 20-minute mark, I'll just say thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate the time that you've given. And if you could drop a subscribe and a like and comment and all of that kind of stuff, just because it helps the algorithm and everything. I'm trying to learn these things, you know? But again, the only way to learn is by actually doing it, so that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, there you go. I'll see you guys in the next video.